I've actually come up with a workable formula. After all these years, people have been asking me, how do I know how much honey to leave on my hive? So the question would be like, should you leave 3 honey supers on, or 2 honey supers on, or maybe this configuration, a deep and a super, which is their entire brood nest area, and no honey super for winter.
Or if you're like me, 2 deeps and no super.
Hey everybody, what's up? David Burns here, and today I'm excited to have more guests in the bee yard. I've got Carrie and Willa. Hi Willa.
Hi.
Hi Carrie.
Hi, how you doing?
Good to have you here.
Thank
all
you.
the way from Colorado.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see
Wow.
it all in person and get to
Yeah.
get our hands in it.
We've got a lot of videos to make today.
I'm excited.
You're going to both of you will see so many things in beekeeping.
We have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I think the more we learn, the realize there's more to learn.
Yeah,
We realize how much we still don't know.
absolutely. That's
But
the way I am.
experience is coming, and the more we learn, the more excited and better we're getting at it.
Yeah. What I'm excited to have you here too is that a lot of women are entering beekeeping. That's really good to see.
Yeah, we're excited to do that and have our kids doing it
I know.
too. So our whole family's into beekeeping.
That is
and,
so cool.
yeah, get our daughters beekeeping.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to getting into the hives with you guys. And,
Yeah, I can't wait.
Wow. Willa, you all set to get in and see some bees?
Yes, I am so ready.
Well, thanks for making the trip, and let's suit up and see what we can do.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. I'm so excited about this new formula that I've worked up. Now, it may not be perfect, and I know you're going to tell me if you don't like it, but here's what I'm thinking. In Illinois, we need 70 pounds of stored honey on our hive to make it through winter. That's because we have approximately 6 months of dearth. And that's a period of time when there's just no flowers out there for the bees to go to bring any nectar back. So October, November, December, January, March, those 6 months, nothing's going on. If you take 70 pounds that we need and divide it by 6, I think that's 11.6 roughly. So I'm going to call it, we'll cheat a little bit to make it easier to remember, and we'll call it 10 pounds a month. Isn't that a great formula? So stay with me. So let's say you live someplace where you have 4 months where your bees can't go out and gather anything, even though it could be warmer. Maybe it's not a hard winter, but it's a time when bees just aren't able to go out and gather anything. 4 months, then you do the math, and you need about 40 pounds of stored honey on board your hive. If you only have 2 months of weather like that where bees can't go out and gather anything, if you have 2 months, you need about 20 pounds. So a lot of you like formulas, and I think this is going to work. Now, also, I need your participation. I need you to help me out. I want you to leave a comment on this video. Where you live, what state you live in, maybe what your altitude is, your elevation. And then I want you to tell us what kind of resources you need in your hive to make it through winter. And I might be able to gather enough of your information to see if my formula works. I feed my bees in the winter, my winter bee kinds, and I'll tell you right now, they consume 4 pounds every week to every week and a half. So roughly what I put my winter bee kinds on in January, like the end of December, the first part of January. So for 3 months, January, February, March, that's when my bees are the lowest in resources. They've depleted them. And that's usually my coldest period of my winter. So in those 3 months, essentially my bees are consuming 48 pounds. It's what it comes out to me, 12 weeks at 4 pounds a week. That's about 48 pounds of the candy boards that they're going through. However, think about this. This is a time when the bees start building up the most too. The end of winter, the early part of spring, that's when they need support of food for the brood that they're raising. And so a lot of people don't realize that if you don't have enough food on board, when it comes time for them to start raising brood, it isn't there, the food isn't there, and they can't start building up their brood. With the candy boards, no matter how much they have on board, even if they have 70 pounds on board, I'm gonna still feed them the candy board as insurance. I've always done that and had great results. So I'm not gonna rely on what they have on board. I'm gonna keep feeding them on top, because sometimes they cluster, and they may cluster away from where their stored frames of honey are, but the winter bee kinds are always right on top of the cluster. When bees are in their hive in the wintertime, their honey consumption, their food consumption is going to vary based on a few things. Okay, it's going to vary based on the temperature. If it's around 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, the bees aren't really consuming many resources. That is the optimal temperature where they're not really expending a lot of energy and they're just purring along and they're clustered, so they're not consuming a lot of food. Now, if it warms up, if you have a warmer winter and the bees are moving a little bit more, remember 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the bees will start breaking cluster and moving. They may not fly, but they'll be more energetic, doing things in the hive. So they're going to consume more food. And especially if you have a warm winter day where you see your bees flying, you might be saying to yourself, oh good, we have a warm winter day, my bees are better off. Uh-oh, yikes. Actually, they're consuming a lot more food because, they're taking a cleansing flight, they're flying, they're moving, they're going to eat a lot more food up. And get this, even when it gets cold, they start consuming more food around the cluster because they're having to produce more heat through their muscles. So the colder it is, the more they'll consume the honey that's around that tight cluster. So my recommendation, use the formula. How many months are you going to have where your bees won't be flying? When do you have your first hard frost that kills all your floral sources? And how long does it take until you have your first, maybe your maple trees start blooming where the bees are going up for pollen and a little bit of nectar, maybe your dandelions? How many months of absence of nectar do you have? And then calculate 10 pounds for each of those months, and that's what you need on board. But listen to this. It's a little different for me and how I manage my hives. I can actually get by with nothing on board, as long as I keep my winter bee kinds on there all winter long. And remember, they're going to be consuming about 4 pounds a week, which is kind of the 11.6 that I think that they eat a month, 12 pounds. So they're going to be consuming my candy boards as their food source. Now, I don't recommend that. I like to do both. I like to have the sufficient amount of honey on board that the bees need in their brood nest area and maybe one extra super. If you can overwinter with one super where I live in a cold climate, that works really good, in addition to the winter bee kinds on top of the box. But you can make that change based on where you live. If you live in the deep south where you don't have a longer winter, then you can go with a single deep and they can have maybe one super on top or a single deep, and you keep feeding them winter bee kinds or candy boards in the wintertime. So I'm trying to get you to be your own citizen scientist where you can do the math, you can do the formula, the calculation, and decide how you can take responsibility to make sure your bees have enough food on board that they need to survive the winter. So you may be wondering, well, David, how do I know when I have 70 pounds of honey on board, right? Because sometimes the bees have brood on half the frame, they have honey on the other half, it's hard to calculate. What we're going to do, come with me, because we're going to weigh a few different types of frames. That way, when we get the weight down, when you do your inspection, you can do the math. For example, we're going to look at how much does a deep frame of honey, full frame of deep honey weigh, how much does a medium frame of honey weigh, and then how much does a half frame of honey weigh. We may even measure bee bread if we find a frame, but I think if we can get a formula, a calculation of what these frames weigh, then when you go to inspect your hive in late summer, early fall, you can just apply the math to what this weight is and see if you have the appropriate amount on board that you need. I love answering your beekeeping questions, and every Friday I make a video from the green answer chair where I talk about questions that you're asking. I give good answers to help you in your beekeeping endeavors. Check these videos out right over here. See you guys over there. I was thinking my paper is going to fly. Okay, a few on your side maybe?
Yeah, just the breakfast eaters.
Oh yeah. All right, let's walk over there and weigh that.
Okay.
See,
See,
turn
look,
it
no
on.
None bees.
I got my brush. We'll brush them off.
There's nobody home.
Let me tear out the... All right, now we're going to weigh the frame. Let's put it on there. Willa's standing by at the official scales.
3.6.
3.6. There we go. I estimated that a super would probably have about 38 pounds, 35 to 38, so that'd be 36 pounds in a whole super. Now we need to find a deep that's full of honey.
This one's heavy. That's really heavy.
Wow.
That's solid.
On both sides?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see your side, but this side's solid.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is like,
Do you want to feel how heavy that is? Hold the sides.
get ready for a lot of weight.
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
And
They about lifted you off the ground.
Yeah. That's a lot, huh?
that's
All right.
very heavy.
Well, we got two
I got beetle traps in there, and I still got
full
beetles.
frames so far.
Let me brush the beads off. I'm going to take that back
Okay.
and weigh it while y'all work a hive.
Okay.
We're going to weigh it to see what it weighs. I've already teared out the amount of the frame. And here, take a look at that, Willa. It says
8.4.
8.4.
Yes, 8.4.
So we weighed one deep at 6.8. This one is drawn out a little further. Let's take a look at it more closely. Maybe you can film it. You see how it's so full?
Yeah.
8.4. But there is a little bump out here.
Yeah. There's like bumps.
So this right here, that's going to make a lot more honey. But that's a heavy frame. So there can be fluctuation between the weight of deep frames by 2 pounds. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
We have so much more planned in this video to watch, so stay tuned. I just want to pop in here real quick and say, please subscribe. It means a ton to me when you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Now let's keep working.
Same over here, huh? Okay. Number 3 is full too. This one feels lighter. Okay, here's one of our partials, huh? I'm gonna call this one like about 2/3 on one side and full on the other. What do you think?
Looks good.
About like that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, about 2/3 and, I mean, not full, but what do you think?
That's almost full.
Close. Okay. This one just has little bits in the corner. And like half. So if we were doing those 8s like we were talking about, that would be 4, like 6 8s, like total out of 16 for the whole frame. Okay. Yeah? Oh, I love Thursday night live streams. Would you join me, please? I love answering your question. We have giveaways. I always give a good beekeeping teaching. Thursday night, 7 p.m. I'll leave the link right here. Join me, please. I call that like 1 added up and maybe 2 total on this one. So what did we end up with here? 3 fulls.
Hang on, 3 full deeps,
Plus,
okay.
and if you add up all the other little bits,
Yep.
that's about 1 more.
Okay.
And then this is a half. I mean, would you say that's enough to call a half?
Oh, yeah.
There was some little bits on the other side.
Oh, I see. Because you're splitting the whole one twice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's whole on one side, so it's kind of like
this
half
is
of a
half
deep. Yeah, okay.
Half a frame.
Yep.
If you add up the little bits on the other side, call it a
Yep.
full half there. So 8 3/4 full
Wow.
frames, like full frames.
Yeah. Essentially, we're going to need 8 full frames.
Yeah, if you could say like 8
Yeah.
to 10, if you
Yeah.
have like a light frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere in there
Wow.
would give you.
And so you saw about 4.5 in the top. Yeah.
But you never know. My
Yeah.
one has 7 on the top and 3 in the bottom. The other one's 3 on the top
Yeah.
and 7 in the bottom.
Yeah,
so which
exactly.
way is this one?
Yeah. We can go in there and look in the bottom.
If you want to get the whole experiment
I
done,
think we
to
should.
show it,
I think we should.
you should.
There you go. You're breaking propolis. Yeah, you got her twisted off
gotta
now.
shift
Yep,
it.
you got it.
You want to move some of these beads down there?
Nah, you're good.
Just go on it at the end.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. You're good. You just sit there fine.
All right. What about this? Is this
A little
part of
piece
the,
of box that broke
is that
off.
a part of the box?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how much propolis was stuck. But I bet the oil will be dried out.
I see liquid.
Oh, you see liquid?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm being really careful.
We see beetles. Wonder how many we've trapped. Oh, it worked good.
Look how many.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Absolutely good trapping.
On this
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I'd say there's at least a good number of 12 or more in there.
Okay, should I just set this?
Yeah, that's off in the grass. Lean it up against a rock over here so it doesn't spill. Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well take this next one out, give us more room to move frames around.
Okay, then let's try to smush some.
Yeah. Every beekeeper has to deal with in the fall. Bees are rowdier. People think, why are my bees so more aggressive than they used to be? And it's because it's fall and they're just more protective. All of them are home. Yeah, look at the beetles there.
More of those.
$2.50. I don't know if that's accurate anymore. Yeah, very good.
Okay. This is about half on this side.
3/4 over here.
Okay. That averages out to like 2/3 for the whole thing, but we're not doing thirds. Are we doing eighths? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I was gonna say I'll do 1 1/4.
What do you have on your side
Like
over there?
just over half.
Okay.
And this one would add up to like one full side, I bet.
It would. That's a full.
This is one.
One
so,
full side.
So
It'd
this
be a
is
half.
a half frame.
Okay.
Right here.
Smoke the cameraman again.
Yeah, he needs it.
They're
This
all
is just about full.
okay. 3/4 over here. Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 3/4. Almost full over here. I'd almost call that full.
It's pretty dang close.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
close.
tough. It's another 75er.
Yeah. But we have to make a decision.
I know,
so
we
you can
do,
make
don't
an
we?
outro that says what you think.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
This just
true.
has a tiny like corner bit, but it's also a lot of nectar.
Yeah, that's actually bee bread, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't look
on your
fast
side,
enough.
yeah. It's going to be real lightweight, I think. I see brood.
Yeah, it's light.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I got nothing on this side. How about you?
Nope.
Okay.
We're done. All the honey was on this side.
Really fuss with
I'm going to
those
put
at all.
my foot on the top cover to hold it down.
All right, you want to smoke that
Oh, yeah,
corner
yeah.
maybe?
Okay.
Pretty straight.
I didn't realize in different regions how much different beekeeping box handling can be, right?
Yeah.
Like here, more propolis, gooey. I mean, look at
Yeah.
the blob of propolis right here,
yeah, it's just
Patrick.
so much. And
And
that's
that's,
going to
you
make
know,
a big, like, it's going to lift it.
it's so much heavier dealing with, harder to deal with boxes and frames when you're just dealing with not only propolis, but real gooey propolis.
Yeah,
like
you
you
can't
said,
just
you live in a
slide it.
drier
Yeah.
area.
I would put it back together a little differently.
Sure. What did you think, guys? That was was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You did a really good job handling the frames.
Thank
and
you.
That was a lot of pressure. The bees were at us and everything.
Yeah, I learned it by watching you.
You cowboyed up and got it done.
Right, that's how to do it.
Well, I'm glad you learned a few things from watching my
did.
videos. You handled that really well.
Thanks.
So, yeah, cowboy up and get her done.
That's
and you got
right.
the cowboy hat on to cowboy up.
I do.
Yeah. Okay, so we did a fall inspection, and
Yeah.
this is similar to your situation, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's 2 deeps.
Yep.
Just like that, with lots of bees.
Yeah.
And lots of honey and resources.
Yeah.
So, but it's good to be able to know, like,
It is.
is that going to be enough?
Right.
And I think it is.
Yeah,
I
I do
think what
too.
we saw, I think it is.
Yeah, we did the math, and we feel like we're spot on with getting it through an Illinois
Yeah.
winter. We're at the 70-pound mark. We
Yeah.
can reach that. Here's the deal, though. If we have that much on there, do they have access to it? Because
Yeah.
if they start to cluster tight in the middle, or like we noticed, all their honey was on the east side of the hive,
Yeah.
not on the west side. Brood was on the west side. So we had most of our honey on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they cluster into the honey, we're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can get the one down below. They can, over the winter, they can go up into the top. But what if they cluster and they cluster more in the middle and they run out and they don't have much? That's why I started feeding
feed
them
them on the
from the
top.
top. Wow, Carrie and Willa. I tell you, you guys exhausted me. That was a lot of work.
We wanted to see as much as we possibly could in
Well,
one day.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
I think so.
Yeah, we started about 9 o'clock and we ran all the way down to about 4:30.
Uh-huh. This is so great.
So it's a lot of bee work. Yeah. We saw some fun stuff, good stuff. and we hit some challenges.
Yeah.
I think you got a real good variety of things to
Yeah.
deal with that you got exposure to.
I loved that. I love seeing new things that I've
Yeah.
never seen too. So.
Yeah. What were
been great.
anything new or
Well,
challenging?
the small hive beetle.
Oh, yeah.
That was totally new.
Yeah.
I've never done mite testing with alcohol, so
Oh,
getting
yeah.
to see how that works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the new strips.
Yeah, the new
That was
strips.
new for all of us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. For Roxanne.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll do the work. That hive had more mites than bees, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to be tracking the
Yeah,
dates to see how
I
that
look forward
turns out.
to seeing it. It'd be
Yeah.
a good one to test on, you know.
Yeah.
In retrospect, if the temperature was better, I would use Formic Pro
Okay.
because Formic would give a flash kill,
Oh,
and I could just
okay.
flash kill those mites. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be that way for a little while. So it's like, yeah, this is a good test for the, the Viroxan. But since it's a slow release,
Yeah.
it would be to me better to use Viroxan for control.
Okay.
Like if you have good levels
Okay.
and you're starting to bump up to 3 or 4%, you can put those in and control it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it works for this case then.
It will, yeah, it will. It will definitely knock it down, but but a Formic Pro. So I'll have to read again and see how soon I can do a Formic Pro with those in there.
Yeah.
You might have a period of waiting time, but yeah, that was challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell you, it was great having both of you.
Thank you so much for having us. It was
Gosh.
absolutely worth the trip.
It's always so fun for me to be in the hives with those who have just been keeping bees, new or just a few years. So much fun with Carrie and Willow. So thanks guys for coming. And if you want to see a video where I answer a lot of your important questions, especially this time of the year, take a look at this video here. It's called the Green Answer Chair. See you guys over there.